Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches. And this week, like every week, we have a great variety for you guys and girls, from the classics with the Tudor BB58 Blue, a watch that I always want to make sure we have at least one in stock, to a very cool JLC Reverso, a reference we have sold before, apart from this one has a slightly different usage of the mechanism. We'll get onto that, to a very cool Pinion, to an Orion or Orion, everything you can possibly imagine. Excuse me, and you'll have to forgive me. So, a couple of things. Danny is on holiday as of the time you're watching this video, and the following Saturday he'll also be on holiday. So 2 weeks without Danny, so I'm doing my best to keep on top of everything. Obviously Danny is the photography man. He has done all the photographs. We managed to get in all the watches, and he worked overtime to get all those done, so that way the 2 weeks he's away we still have drops. It does mean I'm doing all the camera work myself, so I do apologize if it is not as good as usual. So do forgive me. I also apologise if I sound a little bit like I've got a cold. That's because it is horrible weather at the moment here in the UK, and I think I have a little bit of a cold. So that is that. But what's on wrist? I am wearing my Tudor Ranger. I managed to steal it back off the wife. As a lot of you know, we bought this to celebrate the birth of our daughter. And if you haven't watched my review, 1 month owning, go check that out. I talk in detail about the watch and why I like it and why I think it's fantastic. So I won't ramble on too much, but it's a great watch and I'm glad to have it back on my wrist. I'm also in the process of working, and it's been probably 2 weeks now, I'm trying to edit the State of the Collection video of me and my wife. It's a fairly long video and it's quite difficult to edit, especially finding the time to get it all done, because we have done some changes to the office. Now I'm going to quickly record what I see from my side, and you can see the office is coming along nicely. So this is the main office. As a lot of you know who have come, we have the back office back there, but this is the main office. We've got 2 nice display cabinets now, with just showing some straps, cases, different bits and bobs. We've got photos all along and all the way around, obviously our fridge and everything. More canvases and our drinks area over there as well. And the back office we are in the process of sorting. So it's quite a endeavour at the moment, that's for sure, but we are getting there. And it's starting to come along really, really nice. I do want to add something that my wife and everyone is saying I shouldn't. I just want to add a little fish tank over there, a small one. For some of you who follow me personally, you know I have 2 quite large fish tanks at home. I'm big into my freshwater fish, so I'd like a little fish tank in here, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But anyway, so there you have it. That is what's on wrist. That's the office update. It's coming along really nicely. I'm very happy with it. And let's get on to what you're here to see, which is the watches. And we're going to start with the awesome JLC Reverso. Let's take a closer look. So the first watch to start this week, this is the JLC Classic DuoFace in the larger size, but still very, very wearable. And obviously the DuoFace, a lot of you know, that means it has the 2 dials. Now obviously this is a full polish watch, so it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, so I apologize if I'm wiping as I go. So the reference to this one is Q3848420. And as we flip it over, obviously you have the beautiful classic JLC white dial side, and as we flip it over you have the travel time on this side with the black dial and the luminous sword hands, and a 12-hour down there as well. Really gorgeous. The one we sold before had a little push button here at just above the crown to adjust the hours. The way this one works, and if you have not been shown this, you probably would miss it for the most part, there is a little lever at the top over here, and as you do the lever you can see you jump the hour hand. So this way you can have 2 time zones on the go at the same time. When you jump this hour hand, it doesn't jump the other side. That time is fixed. So this is to allow you to have 2 travel times. So you fly from one place to the other. You could have this side already set to the time it is in the local area. So when you land, you flip it over, and now you've got yourself a black dial watch and the correct time ready to go. And obviously you could swap it back over in the evenings for your nice dressy occasion, whatever it may be. A really, really cool watch, a nice function, obviously invented originally for polo players, because they didn't want to take off their watch. So on the opposite side was a plain case back, and that was so you could protect your crystal and still wear your watch whilst playing. I don't really get it, but hey, So inside this is a manually wound JLC caliber 854A/2, and this one's from March 2022 with its full box and papers, original strap and deploying, and the price of this one is fantastic. I do not think you'll find a better deal, especially for one signed 2022 with its full manufacturer warranty remaining as well. But that's enough talking about the watch. Let's show it on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. I do not find that too big at all. I think that is very wearable and very comfortable. Now the wrist, not the wrist size, the case size of this one is 28.5mm by 46.5mm lug to lug. It's only 10mm thick and 20mm lug, so endless options on the strap. If you're not a fan of this dressy black, I think it suits the watch perfectly, but also a brown strap for the white dial looks fantastic. You need to find something a bit neutral for both sides. Maybe a blue could look kind of cool. But anyway, go check this one out on the website today. From the incredible JLC Reverso, let's go on to a awesome, and I showed it in the last video, a vintage CWC quartz military diver. You do not see these often, and if you have no idea about this reference, it's one to research, do check out our website. We put in a fair bit of information, but let's take a closer look at this one. So next up, a watch made for the Royal Navy. What you're looking at here is a quartz CWC, and these were chosen to be used by the Royal Navy in this period, and the quartz was chosen over the mechanical at the time. A really awesome example, and inside is a quartz ETA 955, and what you're looking at here is a really gorgeous handset, nice dial as well. Obviously some age is going to be seen. These were true military watches, so this likely would have been on the wrist of a person in the Royal Navy. Again, how much of that do we know? We don't. That's part of the charm of military watches, in my opinion. That's sort of what has this watch seen, and what stories could this watch tell that we'll unfortunately never know. And what you're looking at on top is a Bakelite bezel with a nice click action as well. So yes, that's original Bakelite, and it's still in great condition. And this watch is circa 1983. And the way you can tell all of the aging is via the case back. And I won't talk too much about all the coding because there is a lot to it, and I don't know all of it off the top of my head, but you can see as we catch the light, you can see all the military coding, the broad arrow, and the 040/83, 83 dictating the year, and obviously you have T on the dial for tritium as well. Really awesome watch. This is one for those proper military nuts out there, and again, you just do not see them often. This was actually sold by Watches of Knightsbridge last year, so it's got a little bit of sales provenance, unfortunately not watch provenance, but there you go. But let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Very, very comfortable. What it's paired on right now is a new CWC signed NATO. It does also come with a period correct NATO, which is slightly smaller than the case. I think it's a cool look. It won't be for everyone, and that is why we provide both. But what you're looking at is 42mm by 47mm lug to lug with really beautiful twisted lugs. Wears super well. Only 10.5mm thick and 20.5mm lugs, which sounds a bit odd, but you can fit 20 and you can fit 21. So do keep that in mind. This is a 20 and it fits perfectly. So go check it out on the website today. From there to a very awesome Pinion 1969 Revival. And this one is actually a custom no-date dial. So it's the only one that exists like this. And I think they made 100, yes, 100 watches. And this is the only one that looks like this. And it's very, very cool. So let's take a closer look. So next up, a Pinion. And this is part of their Revival 1969 limited edition of 100 pieces, and what you're looking at is a custom no date dial, which is really cool, and the only one that exists as well. So the reference is R1969, and this is interestingly number 69 out of 100, which obviously for Revival 1969 is kind of cool. And inside, behind this smoky glass, which is covered in my fingerprints, just get rid of that, there you go, and behind this tinted black or grey smoky crystal is a manually wound Value 7734. Now these were new old stock movements bought in by Pinion and basically rebuilt and altered slightly. As you can see, Pinion logo right there, new parts made for a couple of bits and put back together as well. So really, really cool and interesting as well that you get a vintage movement with the value 7734, often found in watches such as Breitling and other brands at the period of the 70s as well. This one's from September 2017. It does come with its full box and paperwork. It comes with 3 pinion straps altogether and a custom strap as well. So a nice little set for those of you interested in this watch. It is in worn condition, but it's not bad. There's a couple of marks here and there. As you can see, a scratch on the lug there. We can obviously have the case polished to look new again for you if you would like. Just let us know. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist. So it is a pretty big watch, but it wears very, very well and it's surprisingly comfortable. So what you're looking at is 43mm by 53mm lug to lug. So definitely over that 50mm sweet spot I go on about, but with those sloping lugs, it does work. 14mm thick and 22mm lugs, are endless options on straps as well. So go check out this watch on the website today. From there, we've got to go to the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue, a watch I have toyed with adding to the personal collection so many times, and the prices just keep getting better and better. You know, we're asking, I think, £2,250 on this, £2,250. It's in fantastic condition, complete set. The value, you can't really beat at this price point, and this is a go-to, in my opinion, even at retail. So when it becomes this price pre-owned, I think you should jump on it, I really do. So let's take a closer look. Next up, a watch I absolutely love, and I've said it multiple times. I think value for money, if you're looking for a blue diver, this is the go-to. For over £2,000, you're getting yourself a lot of watch. This is the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue, the 79030B. On its bracelet, it does come with its box and paperwork, full links included, as you'd expect. A real workhorse movement. Inside is the automatic Tudor caliber MT5402, a very good in-house movement, which is chronometer certified as stated on the dial. But to me, this is all about the design. You've got the snowflake hands, you've got the round indices. I am interested to see what they do in the future, because obviously, as you know, the Tudor Ranger clasp is this new updated glide lock clasp. I would hope they'd do that with this watch at some point in the future, and I hope as well they do the square lume indices. That is very reminiscent of the old Tudor Submariners. I would be a big fan of that, and I'd probably snap one up in a second. This one's from July 2020, and it is in very fair condition, to be honest. Again, like all watches, we can have them polished up to look new, but to be honest, this has got a couple of scratches here and there. It's been worn, so when you get this watch, you can throw it straight on wrist, not worry about it, and enjoy it, which is what I like. But let's show it on wrist and taut dimensions. So this is, again, where this watch absolutely shines. I've put it on wrist. It is a bit tight for me, but obviously, as I say, all spare links included. What you're looking at here is a very comfortable 39mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, only 12mm thick and 20mm lugs. It's what makes this watch even better is how good it wears on the wrist, and it's perfect for any wrist size. I have a 7-inch, the photographer has a 6.5, my wife has a slightly smaller wrist, and again, we all love this watch and we all would happily wear it. So go check it out on the website today. From there to a very cool watch that is in a similar realm to the Black Bay 58 Blue, but very affordable. This is the Orion. I don't know if it's Orion or Orion. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Orion, so I apologize if it's not, but this is the Calamity 666 Devil Diver, as I call it, in blue. Very cool. Let's take a closer look. Next up is a watch I think offers incredible value for money. This is the Orion Calamity 666 Devil Diver, as I call it, with those beautiful pops of orange on the second hand, the 666 feet, and also with the double triangle on the bezel. You've got this really nice matte bezel, nice navy blue dial. Overall, this watch looks fantastic, and just for reference, let's put the Black Bay 58 Blue next to it. I mean, you can see why I think this, if you can't afford the Black Bay 58 Blue or you want something different, I would highly recommend considering this, because it is a great watch. And as we flip it over as well, so the reference to this is the Calamity Navy, by the way, and as we flip it over, exhibition caseback, and what you're looking at is a ETA 2892, a very good automatic ETA movement, and you're getting all of this for around £1,000 on a bracelet with a dive extension and all of its links included, a nice adjustment there on the bracelet, and a very solid bracelet as well, I have to add, with their logo. It just looks fantastic. Now this one's October 2019. It does come with its box and papers, which is a small little box, which is nice and convenient. And this is in worn condition, so do keep that in mind. But again, if you want it looking brand new, I'm sure we can get that done for you nice and easy. So just send us a message. But yeah, a great looking watch. Let's show it on wrist and talk dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. That looks perfect. This is 40mm by 48mm lug to lug. So slightly bigger than the Black Bay Blue. Only 11mm thick and 20mm lugs. So again, endless options. It is one good looking watch for £1,000. You really cannot go wrong. So go check out this watch on the website today. From there, we're going to go to a quartz Amiga Constellation. I've always been a big fan of these. This is actually one I sold many years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, and it's still complete full set. 2003, yes, 2003. Everything with it. I think these are fantastic. These are a great watch for him or for her, and don't be put off by the 34mm size. It wears a lot larger than that would entail. So yeah, let's take a closer look at this one. Next up, we've got a watch from Amiga, which I think is massively underrated and also a bit of an oddity because it's part of the Constellation lineup. However, the Constellation didn't start looking like this until really the 80s. Obviously, before that, you have that beautiful sort of pipe hand dial and multiple others, to be fair, which is now considered the Globe Master among the Amiga lineup. And the Constellation now looks like this. But either way, a great looking watch. I think very underrated. This is stainless steel and 18 karat gold. So you've got gold bezel, gold crown, and gold tubes basically through the bracelet. You've got the, you have to excuse the noise of Clerkenwell, hopefully it doesn't pick it up too much, but you've got the Amiga sign clasp, which is the old school gliding clasp, which allows you to get it over your hand more comfortably, and then once on wrist, you fasten it down like so. You've got nice, what do you call it? It's just left me. Observatory caseback, that's what it's called. With the stars stated there, all has a point of reference. So the reference to this one is 121.2.30.00, and inside is a quartz Amiga caliber 1532. Nice ticking away over there with a date, and it's from November 2003 with its box and papers. A great watch. Let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist, and this would make a great Christmas gift, so do keep this in mind. 34mm by 39mm lug to lug, only 7.5mm thick, super thin on the wrist, and that is 21mm lugs tapering down to the clasp. It just looks fantastic and wears a hell of a lot bigger than 34mm. I'd say it's more like a 36, 37mm. Super comfortable. So go check it out on the website today. Then on something a little bit left field for us, but we like to provide some quirky, funky things every now and again. This is a Tag Heuer SEL McLaren limited edition with signatures on the back from different people who were involved in the McLaren team at the time, which is 1998, I want to say. But this was sold December 1999 with its box and papers. A cool watch, that's for sure. Very much of its time, but it's starting to come back around, these SELs with this bracelet. So let's take a closer look at this watch. So the Tag Heuer SEL, so very cool. This is the West McLaren Mercedes 98 edition, a limited edition they did of 3,999 pieces. The reference to this one is the CG1117, and as you can see, you've got signatures there on the back of important people back in McLaren's history. Limited edition numbers stated right there too. The interesting SEL bracelet, which has later evolved into the Tag Heuer Link, which is still available today. It's very much of its time, and again, you either love it or you don't, but these have certainly started to gain, a following again, almost like cult classics. This one's from December 1999. It does come with its full box and paperwork, and the box has got a happy birthday message stickered onto the actual case, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, a very cool set, and to have a full set at this kind of price, when you start looking online, some of the prices are absolutely bonkers. I have no idea why, but here you go. You can pick one up at a reasonable price. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist with links to spare, which is nice. You're looking at 38mm by 45.5mm lug to lug, only 11.5mm thick, and 19mm lugs tapering down to the clasp. You know what? It's a good looking watch. I can see why people really like these, and if you're a fan of McLaren, or this time period in general, maybe it's a birth year, 1998 or 99. I don't know. Go check it out on the website today. And last but by no means least, a watch from the personal collection that I sort of put in the personal collection because I wanted to try it out and it's very cool. But again, with my watches, it just doesn't get worn, unfortunately, but I do think it's really awesome. And this is the Islander with the full lume dial. I think this is super cool. Built like a tank and super well priced as well. Let's take a closer look at this one. Last but by no means least, the affordable watch of the drop with a full lume dial. Super, super cool. I'll try and throw up a photo on screen because I did take a photo when I took it outside one time at night and it glowed. It glowed. Is that the word? I don't even know. It shone brightly. I'm just gonna give up. What you've got is a ceramic bezel with lume as well. Really nice blue, fully sort of filled in hands. You've got this samurai style case and this very solid screw link bracelet, which I can't get over how well built this is for the price point. You've obviously got a deploying clasp as well, micro adjust on there because these are quite big links, so you definitely need to play around to get a perfect fit. It does come with a spare link as well, and obviously this is Islander Watch Company out in the US doing some very interesting things. This is the ISL-62, beating away inside the automatic Seiko caliber NH36, I was going to say 35, but it's the 36, and this one's from 2021 with its box and card as well. A great looking watch for the money, and again, just something really fun. If you're a watch person out there, you want to treat yourself to something a bit quirky, or you know a watch person out there and Christmas is coming up, this is a great little gift to give to someone that isn't going to break the bank, but really shows that you've paid attention to their watch hobby. Maybe forward this clip of the video over to a loved one if you're watching this, saying, hey, hint, 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 pick me up this watch. But let's show on wrist and taut dimension. And here we go on wrist. What you're looking at is 44mm by 48mm lug to lug, just like the Seiko Samurai. It's a big watch, but it wears surprisingly well. 15mm thick, so it's a beast, and 22mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes to make swapping out nice and easy, but a cool watch. I like it. There's a reason I enjoyed it myself for a little while. But here you go, here's your opportunity. So go check it out on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls. 8 watches this week. We're trying to keep it very sort of within that realm of number, just whilst Danny's away, to sort of extend out, because we do have probably 20 watches not yet on the website. And if you'd like to beat the website, as always, follow us on Instagram at Kibble Watches. And we've started a WhatsApp broadcast list. I think I mentioned it a couple of episodes ago, and I think a couple of people asked about it in the comments, and I don't think I got back to you. I do apologise. Replying to YouTube comments is the last of my reply priorities. It's emails and Instagram and WhatsApp and so on. So I do apologise. Serious inquiries, definitely email. It's the way you get the quickest response. But our WhatsApp broadcast list, very simple. Our WhatsApp number is on the website, it's on our Instagram. You can find it everywhere. That WhatsApp number, if you WhatsApp it, obviously you have to have WhatsApp with your full name. So make sure you put your full name and say you want to be in the broadcast list. What we then do is add you to it, and you have to make sure you add on WhatsApp number to your contacts as Kibble Watches, or whatever you want to call it, the watch dude, whatever. But you have to add it to your contacts. If you don't save the number and we send out the broadcast list, you won't receive it. So you adding it is WhatsApp's way of saying you accept basically the terms of being sent, or deals, if you will. So just make sure you do that, otherwise you won't receive it. I've had a couple of people saying, oh, you said you added, I haven't received anything. It turned out they hadn't added the number. So don't be that person, because you'll miss out on deals. So yeah, if you want to be involved in that, make sure you do that. But there you have it. That is this week's drop. I hope you enjoyed it. There really is something for everyone here. Last week's drop, all those affordable bits went within a couple of hours. It was amazing. 4 watches just sold instantly. So the affordable bits you guys and girls seem to really like. It's just difficult finding good ones and finding ones that at that price point I can buy and still make a margin. Because if I'm making £10 profit, you might think, oh, well, that's £10 profit still, but you buy on your credit card via the website, I pay VAT, I pay everything, and I ship it out for free, which is what we do. If I'm making £10 profit, I'm actually making about £2 in the end. So, and all the paperwork that's involved, the printing, the going to the post office, or having them collect. You have to understand that affordable price range. As much as I love it, I have to buy quite competitively, which just doesn't happen often. So I do apologise if you don't see that sort of price range often from me. So there you have it. But anyway, we'll see you all again next week. Take care.